What's up, everybody? This video has been kind of going viral on BookTube right now, so I wanted to film this myself. And is the video, do I have that book challenge? So I don't have a proper angle to film, and so I'm going to film with my camera facing the bookshelf because I can't really do that. Anyways, please pardon the coughing. I got another seasonal allergy cold thing going on, so yeah. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. So we're out here on the loft on my bookshelves, and for the first question, it is a book with deckled edges. Deckled edges, deckled edges, deckled edges. Furyborn, deckled edges. A book with two or more people on the cover. Two or more people. Ooh, I know. We got A Torch Against the Night. For the third one, a book based on another fictional story. I know. Winter. Book that's 10 letters long. USA. 1, 2, 3. Nope. I know. Truth, which is a book that's 10 letters long. Book that starts with and ends with the same title. I know. Wait. No. Wait. Don't. Book that's a mass paperback. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Wait. I know, I have Outlander here. Wait. Outlander. Okay. Author using a pen name. No, J.K. Rowling is that. Wait. Okay. Found that. Character name in the title. Found it. Let's see. Book with 2 maps. I know this is cheating. Found that. Let's see. Book turned into a TV show. No, it's gonna fall. No. Okay. Book by someone famous. Someone famous. Yes. Okay. Alright. Book with a clock on it. Nope. 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 Clock was a cover. Yes. go. Poetry book. Poetry book. Poetry book. Ooh. Poems. Okay. Poems of love and life. What's down the book? Nope. Nope. B. Author. I know. C.S. Lewis. Book of short stories. No. No. Yes. My book of short stories. Okay. Book between 500 and 510 pages. Let's see. Nope. That's 826. Let's see. Nope. Too short. 8. Let me see the last edition. Let's see. Bam. 500 pages. Yes. Okay. Fuck, that was turned into a movie. We got The Host, but I think I have another book in here. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna go with The Host. And graphic novel. I know. I got my graphic novel right here. Game of Thrones. And a book written by 2 authors. I have this one, the USA Rough Guidebook. Hello friends, I finished the challenge in just a little over 8 minutes. So I wanted to show you the books that I chose for each of the things, and I had gotten all the points. So the book that had the deckled edges is Furyborn. So yeah, Furyborn wins. And then the book that had 3 people, or 3 or more people on it, and the book I chose was Torch Against the Night by Sabahat Tahir. Then a book that was based off of a retelling or another fictional story, Winter by Marissa Meyer. A book that was 10 letters long, and I found Truth Witch on my shelf. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters. a book that starts and ends with the same letter. I found Tilt, and it's T-I-L-T, Tilt by Ellen Hopkins. Mass paperback, I found 2 in the amount of time that I picked up each of these. I found Outlander and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. A book with an author having a pen name, Lemony Snicket. And I have All the Wrong Questions. This is the first one in the series. Pardon me, I have a cold. Sorry. Going through my shelf video or seeing the part where I was finding the books, I'm sorry I was super quiet. My parents are downstairs sleeping, and also if I'm too loud, my dog will start to bark, and we don't want that. So, yeah. Off on a little tangent here. But yeah, Lemony Snicket was a pen name. Then a book with one of the characters' names in the main title, and I found Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is my favorite book of the whole series. So I actually have 3 editions of Prisoner of Azkaban. But anyways, yep, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. A book that has 2 or more maps in it. I sort of cheated, but I went for my good old weather book. This was published in 1957, but I really don't care. I loved seeing weather through the ages or through the years. Pardon me. But if you go through it, there's a map here of the continental United States. Another map here with the North Pole and stuff. The different poles. Here's a map with, what is it? With fronts. So I think this counts. It's interesting seeing weather throughout the years, but it wins. It's got more than 2 maps in here, so yeah. A book that was turned into a TV series, and I picked up my Magicians box set. It was turned into a television series. It's really good. You should watch it if you haven't. So, The Magicians. A book. Pardon me. A book by someone who was famous for something other than writing. So, by a celebrity, I had to pick up one of my absolute favorites of last year, A Life in Parts by Bryan Cranston. He plays Walter White, and he is from one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And it's just a memoir of how he got into acting, his early adolescence, all that stuff. So, pick it up if you haven't. The audiobook is read by him, and it's awesome. But yes, A Life in Parts. And then a book with a clock on it. This is, well, for one, it's got clock right here. Clockwork Angel. And then there's Big Ben right here in the back. So, that works. It's got a clock on it. Okay. Poetry book. Alrighty. This is The Poems of Love and Life by Dr. Harry Apars, or whatever it is. It works. It's a poetry book. If I didn't find this poetry book on my shelf, I would have chosen another Ellen Hopkins book, but luckily I found this one. I remember picking this up for 25 cents at the thrift store. It's a pretty good book, but yep. Poems of Love and Life. And then a book that's got an award on it. I was hard pressed finding one, but I realized, wait, Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda has an award, and it has an award for National Book Award for the long list. I don't know what that entails, but it's got an award on it. I got it, so yes. Book with an author having the same initials. My name is, my initials are CL, and C.S. Lewis, it's a CL, even though my middle initial is a little different than his, but for all intents and purposes, the first letter and the last letter, they count. So yes, C.S. Lewis, Chronicles of Narnia. And a book of short stories. I happen to be reading this book recently. Book of short stories. And it is the 1995 edition by Jane Smiley and Katrina Keeson. So, got some short stories in here. It counts. It's kind of a cop-out because I saw short stories on the shelf. When I was looking, I was like, right on. So, it was on my list. It's there. I got it. Point for me. And a book between 500 and 510 pages. I found the last edition on my shelf. Granted, it goes a little bit longer than 500 pages with like an anecdote from the next book in the series, but if you go to the end of the acknowledgements, it's got 500 pages. So, that works for me. I was having issues trying to find a 500 page book. I found it. Awesome. A book that was turned into a movie. I was looking for Forrest Gump, but the host was right in front of my eyes. It had a pretty decent film adaptation. This book was a monstrosity to get through. At like... Let's see. This book was 619 pages. So, it was a big, hefty book back when I was reading it. So, the host, and a book that's a graphic novel. I was going for a comic, but I realized I didn't have any comics on there. But I have the graphic novel adaptation of Game of Thrones. And there we go. That counts, right? And it says graphic novel right on the front. So yes. Woohoo! And, oh, pardon me. Alright, and a book by two or more authors. I found this one, and ooh, it's dusty. It has 3 authors. It has Samantha Cook, Tim Perry, and Greg Ward. And it's a rough guide of basically the continental United States, where to go to travel, where to get the best experience out of traveling. I do eventually want to travel around the United States, so I picked this up at a thrift store. That's why it's kind of beaten. But hey, it helped me with this challenge today, so I was happy about that. So I get all 20 points because I got all the books. So thanks for watching. Sorry for the coughing. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.